Okay, in the last tutorial, I showed you how to make up a student group to set up for interventions. In this tutorial, I'll show you how you take that group and actually make assign these students to a intervention. So we went to assessment, set up that student group. That student group you can see in my student group widget, which is reading intervention group grade. Reading intervention group grade 3. I think that's what I called it. All right. So if I have that reading intervention group, now I'm going to go down to my student learning plans. And once I've made that group, I will say choose that group right here and assign them to a reading intervention group or into interventions. Here's the group, and I'm just going to click on assign. Now I have a certain number of kids, all those kids that we chose before, and so if I wanted to set this up, I want to say, well, what relevant assessments will I use to measure progress with that? Well, I am going to be using the assessments that, let's choose the EIRA, and I will, since this is a third grade group it looks like, I will want to have try 1, try 2, and try 3. That'll help me monitor progress. I also am a school that is using SIM interventions, or 6-week cycles of assessments of literacy. And so I'm going to want SIM 1.1, which is the first cycle, SIM 1.2, which is the second cycle, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and 1.6. Okay. Now, what will happen with these groups is every time one of these assessments is done, these assessments will help us see how students are progressing along. Now, I have set up the group, set up the assessments, and I have those set here. Let's see if I can close that. Now, I don't have any accommodations right now, so I can close that. I'm not going to have any commitments, but you could click commitments that people are going to make, and I'm going to close that.
6-3.
There you go. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is say, let's add some goals. So this is a reading group. So my intervention is going to be in the area of reading. And my goals, let's say I want to improve for the students, improve their fluency. And the intervention I'm going to use for that is Guided Reading Plus. And I'm going to add that goal. Now, I don't want to just improve their fluency. I also want to, reading, improve their comprehension. And so I'm also going to be doing that in the Guided Reading Plus group. All right. Oh, I didn't add that goal. Let me do that one more time just to make sure I have it. Improve comprehension, Guided Reading Plus, and add this goal. So now I have just taken these two students and I've added them to the Guided Reading Plus group that they'll be seeing, and their goals that they're going to be working on is to improve comprehension. Now once I've done that, they're set. Now all I have to do is assign them to this SLP, so all 13 of these students will be getting that intervention. And when I look at each one of those, which I'll show in the next tutorial, you will be able to see those students assigned, that learning plan assigned to each one of those students. And the next step is we'll show you how to have a teacher then add to it for their individual students.